Hey, it's Liberty, and I hope everyone is having a fantastic start to 2025. Today, I'm going to be talking about all of the books that I am highly anticipating coming out this year. If you like this, do give this video a thumbs up. I make videos all about history, books, culture, etc. So do check those out if you would like to. And if you'd like to buy me a cup of tea, the link is in the description. So I'm actually going to get straight into it. Now, first up is a debut. It's already come out because I'm kind of late making this. It's The Baby Dragon Cafe by A.T. Kurashi. This came out, I think, on the 16th of January, and it's published by Avon, which is an imprint of HarperCollins. This is being marketed as a cosy romantasy. Saphira is the owner of a cafe for baby dragons. And they're humans. Oh my God, I'm getting cuteness aggression just thinking about it. She is, however, finding it difficult to break even as there is a lot of burnt furniture that she has to replace. And all the dragon roasted coffee that she can make won't make up for that. Aidan is a local gardener and he's quite the heartthrob. His attention, however, is all for his plants and not enough to his little disobedient baby dragon. Aidan asks Saphira to train his baby dragon and he will pay her enough to keep the place open in exchange. This is grumpy and sunshine pairing. This is small town vibes, very cozy. Apparently it gives pumpkin spice cafe and legends and lattes vibes. So that'll be nice. Next up is something that already has also been published on the 16th of January, and it is Water Moon by Samantha Soto Yambao. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. This is published by Bantam, which is a Penguin Random House imprint. There is a pawn shop on a back street in Tokyo, and it is fronted by a ramen shop. Those who need the pawn shop will be able to find it to pawn their life choices and deepest regrets. Hannah is the new owner, and she wakes up on her first day of work to find the pawn shop ransacked, the most precious acquisition stolen, and her father missing. A charming stranger walks into the shop and offers his help. But Hannah has a secret and she has to make a choice that she may not be able to take back. With translated books, I'm so hesitant to look into comps because often they're just comping like something from that country and not necessarily something that is actually similar. But I've seen people say that if you like sort of the vibes of Studio Ghibli mixed with like Erin Morgenstern's writing and like Before the Coffee Gets Cold, then you will like this. I like all of these, so we'll see. And I'm obsessed with the tagline, which is, would you rewrite your destiny if it meant losing a part of your past? Tingles. So now on to the books that haven't come out yet, and this is coming out on the 13th of February, and it is Kat Dunn's Hungerstone. This is being published by Bonnier UK's Manila Press. And Leonore and Henry are the main characters of this, and they have been married for 10 years without having children. The marriage has gone sour, and Leonore is frustrated by Henry's sort of ambitions taking them outside of London to the countryside to Nethershore Manor. He's hosting a hunt. Since the last time he hunted, Leonore has kept a terrible secret from Henry, which has sort of haunted their marriage ever since. Carmilla is a mysterious woman who comes into the couple's life after her carriage gets into an accident. Carmilla is pale but comes alive at night and doesn't eat meals with the family and stirs up a hunger in Leonore. And there's, a little bit of a love triangle here. Soon, Leonore isn't the only person who's consumed by hunger. This book is a reworking of Carmilla, which is the Sapphic vampire novel. This take on the story is set within, the backdrop of the Industrial Revolution, bringing the Gothic back into my life. Love it. One of my friends now is making a debut this year, Eleanor Vendrell, and this book is called The Great Orchid Heist, and it is being published by Mountain Leopard Press, which is an imprint of Headline. It's coming out the 13th of March. Phil, who you should absolutely not call Philippa, starts to volunteer at the Felborough Botanic Gardens. Phil is doing this in order to steal a very rare orchid, the Splendid Paradise Orchid. Her father is a gambler and they have debts to pay, so when she hears about this orchid, she sort of jumps at the chance. All she needs to do is join the gardens as a volunteer, befriend all the employees to get intel, and on the day that the orchid is due to bloom for the first time in captivity, steal it. However, the head gardener's assistant, Lily, catches Phil's eye, and Phil is caught between her and saving her house and dealing with her father's debts. A high-stakes heist with a flourishing romance. Sign me up. I will be adding the pre-order link in the description. You might have seen me share the cover for this book on my Instagram. I can't wait. Please do go and support my friend. She is amazing and I can't wait for this. Next up is Death at the White Hart by Chris Chibnall, and this is coming out on the 27th of March, published by Michael Joseph, which is a Penguin Random House imprint. Chris Chibnall obviously is known for stunning us in Broadchurch and for showrunning Doctor Who. I find it hard to think favourably of his run, obviously, because like Jodie was amazing, but I fell off around about the time of the flux and I never really got back into it properly. Like I watched Christmas specials and I've seen episodes here and there which I've really enjoyed, but maybe, you know, is it time for another hiatus for Doctor Who to like maybe figure out where it wants to go? Like as much as I love the show, I think maybe time for that. But anyway, that was a massive tangent, sorry. This is Chris Chibnall's debut novel, and this is a murder mystery, and the detective is Nicola Bridge. She has been a CID detective in the city for many years, but she's moved back to Dorset to the picturesque town of Fleetcombe. Sorry, not a town, it's a village. The landlord of the White Hart pub has been found dead, staged, and Nicola is finding that everybody in the village has something to hide. The lying hairdresser, the anxious delivery driver, the bitter farmer, and the ever-watching little girl. I always find it interesting when screenwriters make the jump to writing novels and vice versa, because they're two very different arts and like the writing skill doesn't always translate, but I'm always excited to, you know, see them try. And next up is The Eights by Joanna Miller, and this book comes out on the 3rd of April, published by Fig Tree, which is a Penguin Random House imprint. This book is set in 1920 in Oxford University, where the first female students in the university are studying for the first time in 1,000 years. The 4 women move into adjacent rooms in the same corridor 8, and they come to be known as the Eights. They all come from completely different walks of life, but they share this dream of education and emancipation. They do very much share this sisterhood. Dora lost her fiance and brother in the Great War and is at Oxford in their place. Beatrice is very political. She's the daughter of a famous suffragette who's seeing Oxford as her chance to make her own way in the world. Otto is a socialite who has terrible memories of the war years that she spent as a nurse, who sort of fills her room with luxuries to sort of distract from her memories. And Marianne is the daughter of a village vicar, and she comes with a secret that she's hiding from everyone. This is a coming-of-age story set just after the end of World War I, when the country was pulling itself back together. The flu is still around, the Spanish flu, and it's a substantial threat as well. So it's a very turbulent and uncertain world that these women are navigating, in addition to all the misogyny. Yeah, this sounds great, and I definitely will be picking it up as soon as I can. Next is a historical fantasy rom-com, and it is The Geographer's Map to Romance by India Holton, and this is coming out on the 10th of April, published by Penguin. Professors Elodie and Gabriel Tarrant are in a marriage of convenience. They are both geography professors and experts in magical disasters, and unfortunately, they're falling in love. Gabriel is grumpy and unfriendly and has been like stoically pining for Elodie. He's been pining for the last year since they've been married. Elodie is described as a walking tornado. I should add that they are married but also estranged. It's giving when the phone rings. They're both accidentally assigned to the same magical disaster. There has been an eruption of magic in a small Welsh village, and so they have like the fate of the country in their hands as they sort of dodge explosions, goats, and ding, 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 we have an only one bed. This looks really good. I love historical fantasy, especially when there's some romance sprinkled in there. And there's been no mention of how this magical system works or anything like that. So it's going to be interesting to see what way India Holton has gone with the magic system. We are going back to the Jersey Shore now, back to Evergreen, because my friend Betty has her second book coming out 32 days in May. I've been told this publication date isn't necessarily right, sometime in June. And it's being published by Avon and Harper Voyager, which is HarperCollins imprint. Nadia is the main character, and she has been recently diagnosed with lupus, which has sort of turned her life upside down. And she's headed to Evergreen, the town where she sort of spent her childhood summers visiting with her family. And Nadia is desperate for some control over her life and is trying to keep her life nice and boring. Her doctor sets her up with his cousin Marco, who's a former actor with a sort of very public baggage. But he is gorgeous, and they both decide that a fling is exactly what they both fancy for the month of May. No commitment, no strings. She's hiding her diagnosis from him, but their romance, their chemistry is starting to, affect her health. So she has to sort of make a choice. Is love worth the risk of trusting somebody new? Betty has explored love, intimacy, and vulnerability and the realities of living with a chronic illness. I'm very excited. Again, I'm going to be putting a pre-order link down below. I really like to read my friends' books when they come out in physical. So I'm really excited to sort of get the book in the mail and like physically sit and read it. I have another friend now. I'm sorry. This is the last one in this video, I promise. This time my friend Peach is making a debut, and Learning to Fall by Peach Morris comes out, I think, on the 26th of June, published by Eighth Note Press. Learning to Fall is a YA novel following 18-year-old Casey, who is figuring out her life. She's taking a gap year, taking care of her disabled mother while her friends are all going off to university. She also walks in on her boyfriend cheating on her, though it doesn't hit Casey as much as she thought, especially when she has a chance encounter with the woman herself, Imogen, who offers an apology and friendship. Imogen is very pretty and confident and convinces Casey to tag along to a roller derby match. And Casey feels the spark of something. She's in awe of all of these really fearless women and non-binary teammates and the power that they hold like in their bodies, because they will body slam people. People in her life sort of try and stop her, but Casey feels like she has found her place with the sport and with her teammates. Casey is on a journey to discover a new, stronger, confident version of herself and walking the fine line of like potentially dating a teammate. Again, you can pre-order this book right now. I'm going to put the link in the description. Peach is fantastic. And, you know, if you fancy it, you really should pre-order it. I read 2 of Sophie Irwin's Regency romances, and How to Lose a Lord in 10 Days is coming out on the 31st of July, published by HarperCollins. Lord Ashford is rich, handsome, and titled, and he has every woman in England wanting to marry him. He only has one woman on his mind, though, our protagonist, Miss Lydia Hanworth. She has been pressured into accepting his proposal, but it is still a secret, and it is being announced in 10 days. Lydia is determined to get out of the engagement before it's announced, while keeping her reputation intact. 10 days will surely provide her with plenty of opportunities to do so, but with him so smitten, it's going to be difficult. I really enjoyed Sophie's previous books. I don't doubt this one is going to be good. She's on my list of like authors that I will always purchase their books when they come out. This next novel is another translation, and it is written by Lee Young-do, and it's called The Bird That Drinks Tears. It's being released in 4 volumes, the first of which is being released in December, published by Harper Voyager, which is an imprint of HarperCollins. Anton Herr translated this, and he's great. I've just read A Magical Girl Retires that he translated, and it was really good. And I have no doubt that this team is going to smash out the park. I mean, he's also translated, I think, Almond and a few others. He's a very well-known Korean translator. Lee Young-do is being called the Korean Tolkien. This is an epic high fantasy, but it is also quintessentially Korean in its grounding. There are 4 races in this world with very different values, customs, gods, and lifespans, and they have to come together to save the world. Humans, you've got Naga, who are inspired by Indian mythology, and there are humans. We've got Naga, which are inspired by Indian mythology. Tokibi, which translates as goblin, but this kind of goblin. You know, it means something different in Korean culture. Finally, Rekon, who are kind of like humanoid birds. Each of their gods control an element, and each of their gods has given a gift to their people. I don't really have a synopsis. All I know is that a rescue party is being formed by members of the different races. And I think with an epic fantasy like this, you're drawn to the world, and I'm very excited to read this. Like, I've heard amazing things about this. Like, all 4 of the volumes of it are being translated. I think they were already done, and they're being released over the course of the next few years. And so I'm going to read a quote that I found online about this. The series portrays the real struggles of various fantastical beings that cannot be solved with the wave of a wand. More nuanced than the Harry Potter series, funnier than The Lord of the Rings, and with far less carnage than A Song of Ice and Fire, The Bird That Drinks Tears is sure to satisfy the appetite for a quick-paced fantasy that is philosophical yet scientific, more spiritual than magical, and above all, a story of camaraderie that finds hilarity in the grief of existence. I mean, what more do you want? So that's it. That was some of the books coming out this year that I'm very excited to pick up. Thank you for watching. Do let me know which one of these books excites you the most. And if you've got a recommendation for me that something that's coming out this year you think I would like, do always let me know. If you like this, do give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you would like to. I am going to get back to working on my adaptations video that I've been working on for ages. Happy reading!